Oh, Julie. Woo. Well, hello, people. How you
Yeah,
feeling?
what's happening?
Nothing. Oh, Julie, why does it feel like here lately? Do you feel like this that 1 week feels like 2 months in news time? You know, all of the stuff that's going on. It just feel like we're inundated with stuff going on.
Yeah. That's why with the last 11 months, last 10 months, it felt like Trump has been in office for 10 years.
It feel like it. It really does because the whole climate has changed. We're going to talk about that today, guys. We have a lot to unpack, everybody. I'm coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm moving. I'm getting close to home. Yeah.
Wait a minute,
So
you moved there?
no. I'm
Oh, I
just
can see you
here with
talking
my
about you.
grandkids. I'm here with my grandkids this week, keeping them while their mother is living her best life on some island in Belize. So,
Hey.
but um, I love being here with just them. I'd rather grandkids than real kids. I don't know who
Yeah.
feels this way. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it just feels. I saw that y'all had two more murders today.
Today,
Today,
I
today.
haven't I haven't seen anything. They
Yeah.
killed.
Um, I guess they're knocking off people like flies in Savannah, but I don't know where Julius is gone, but I guess I'm here. Um, I can do my own show finally. Okay, so um, let's talk about Donald Trump. I guess no.
Now, I don't know what's wrong with my camera. My camera keep going out and it shut stuff down. So if you don't see me, that means I'm refreshing and I'll be back in 2 seconds. I know you
Uh,
just when you hollered a minute ago when you said, "Oh, geez," but I had already clicked the
oh,
mic.
no problem. Me and the audience, we're just gonna keep going topic to topic.
Yeah,
You know
y'all don't need me.
that means that I have run of the show, y'all, today.
Yeah, yeah.
So Um, but the first thing that I really want to talk about, I know that it's kind of old news, but Julius, I sent you a video and I really want you to play it
I
because
don't
it's
know
going
whether I
to
can play it.
it I I sent it
Yeah.
to your I sent it to your phone and it is concerning
Anytime you want
a
the video up, you got to send it to Eden.
okay. So
Let me see if I
I,
can get her to do it.
I gotta set you guys up because there's been a lot of talk about free speech in the last 3 weeks. Ever since Charlie Kirk was untimely uh, murdered. Um, but a lot of people have been talking about, okay, when does free speech, um, when does our rights, you know, and how are our rights protected under the First Amendment? So you saw that everybody knows by now that Jimmy Kimball, he was taken off the air, and a week later he was put back on the air because of free speech. And in America, under the First Amendment, this was so important that they put it under the First Amendment that we have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, um, and what's the other? There's a couple of things up under the First Amendment, but this was one of the first things that the forefathers said that we should have is freedom of speech. And it doesn't matter that I don't agree with Julius, probably maybe about 50% of the time. I don't agree with Julius.
Because
But
Julie, you don't like being right.
listen, huh, huh, anyway, you know what? We're not even gonna do this today. Um, but but so in Houston right now, Charlie Kirk's untimely murder and everything, they had people being fired because they were on their personal Facebook pages saying, we don't give a damn about Charlie Kirk. And I was one of them. I mean, I didn't get fired, but I was one of the ones that Charlie Kirk never appreciated Black people or anybody that wasn't a white national. So I really didn't care when he was murdered. I mean, I didn't pray for his murder, but it didn't affect me one way or the other. I went to sleep, I drank, I partied, you know. So in Houston right now, there is a man that put up a Halloween scene in his front yard. It's two two people seemingly with mega hats on, and in their pockets are the Epstein files, and right next, and then there's two caskets. Okay, so the two mega people are hanging from nooses. Okay, in the front yard, and there's two caskets on each side of the setup, and then there's a Mexican flag, and another mannequin with a sombrero on and a poncho. So he must be the Mexican. He's living, and he just hung these two mega people. Okay. And everybody is up in arms right now. You know, pretty much a lot of the Caucasians are up in arms because they feel like that's hate speech. Well, my take is, and I don't know, I wish that you guys could really see it because it it is so it is really a good topic. But if you have something in your personal yard and maybe, I mean, and especially if you don't live in an HOA, okay? So you don't live in an HOA, but this is in your neighbor's front yard. Two mega um uh statues hanging from a noose with the Epstein files in their pocket, and two uh two caskets, and then a person depicting Mexican and a Mexican flag. How would you feel about that, Julius?
I got to see the video to tell you how I feel about it. I mean, it's satire done all the time. If somebody's got some satire, they always got something.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to show it to you guys.
It'll probably we're trying to get it loaded. If that's the video that you sent.
Yeah, it is. It's the video.
She'll let us know she did it.
Okay.
So you can probably come back to that one.
We're going to come back to that because I want you guys to see it and I want you to speak up on it. But, Julius, our president, the president, he is such an embarrassment right now. Now, everybody said that, I don't care what y'all said about Joe Biden, but Joe Biden never embarrassed us the way this man continues to do. And I think it is untreated syphilis that has to do with dementia, because untreated syphilis can turn into, people losing their mind. So, I'm just thinking it's that, because this man and that guy Hagseth, that's supposed to be over the DOD, which they've changed into the Department of War. It's officially named the Department of Defense. So now they've changed it to the Department of War. And yesterday they last week they told all of the generals and top brass in the military, in all the military, that they wanted them to have a meeting on yesterday. So yesterday was the meeting. And first, Hagseth, if you guys don't know, he is formerly a Fox Network, just host. He has no formal background in the military or anything, but they put him over the military. This is the DEI that we're currently dealing with. And then the president, of course, everybody knows that he's a two-time draft dodger. So neither one of them qualify to be over the military. But they called these people to a military meeting. And not only were they telling them that they're authorizing now, well, they no longer want really women in the military. They said that they don't want, if you're fat in the military, you cannot be there. And they want the new recruits to be able to be hazed, and the sergeants are allowed to put their hands on them. Now, I feel like that's a slippery slope. But what made it worse was, so that's Hagseth. That's what he said, So then the next part was when the president came on, and the president was saying, well, we're going to uh, we're going to try our military. We're going to turn our military off on our United States cities that we feel like need to be governed by a military, the military. How do you feel about that, Julie?
Well, they, I guess the commander in chief can have any type of military they want. They say they don't want fat people in the military. They don't want people with beards in the military. So that's their military. People just won't be able to serve. If you want to get out, wear a beard.
Yeah, they said they don't want people with long hair in the military. So that was a whistle call for that's women. That's women all day. You know, I mean, so I would advise, and I told my son's been in the military for 24 years. And I told him, I said, it's time for you to get out. Because, first of all, you have two people over the military that's never served in the military. And I feel sick about that, because in all European nations, Russia and all of those, when you get out of high school, before you turn 20, I think it's 28, you must serve 2 years in their military. And that goes for princes, kings, all of that. You got to serve 2 years, if you're a male. I don't know what they do with their females, but if you're a male, you must serve. So I don't feel like you can adequately lead something that you've never been a part of. I mean, and here and never in never in the United States have we had the military turning on these are people of war. We send them out to war. We don't send them in our cities to shoot other Americans. We have police officers for that. We have state authority for that. And somebody needs to check this, because I just believe that this is how Hitler got his start.
Well, Stacey Abrams and everybody else is warning you. And, America is one of those places where everybody's from Missouri. You got to show them. So we just have to sit back and see what happens, because it's not these people have they're running roughshod over everything in the whole country, and ain't nothing we could do about it. I mean, there is, but
I was about to say, do you think that there's nothing we can do about it?
Not at this time. You can vote, number one.
Yeah.
You can vote them out. And then what they have then is a showdown between the Congress and the president. And then the Supreme Court has to rule on it. Right now, the Supreme Court isn't doing anything because you have a Congress that isn't checking the president. So if you have a Congress that's not checking the president and a Supreme Court that backs the president, then nothing can be done. If you have a Congress that is checking the president and it's their duty to keep the president in check, then the Supreme Court will have to follow the law and do what they're supposed to do. So we just got to wait and see how these midterms go, and we'll see what happens.
But Julius, do you know that he has done all of this in 9 months? I
Yeah.
don't feel like we can make it to a midterm.
Well, why not? If it was,
Because
listen, we just got to be able to just hunker down and eat your popcorn and watch the movie. It's playing out. We also need to be able to strategize. That's what I've been telling people for the last 9 months. You have to be able to come together and understand that your power is in numbers. If you're separated, there is no power that you will have. You have to have your powers in number. You can't do it for a day. You got to do it forever.
exactly.
You got to be able to you got to be willing to sacrifice. A lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice, and that's the
Mhm.
problem with, especially in the black community. We don't have any people that wants to sacrifice.
Yeah,
You have to go through the fire. I've been dead already, so there's nothing to sacrifice for me. I mean that it's just second sense. My second sense is to I don't care. So you can do what you want. I ain't gonna be dumb with all the stuff that I do, because you have to also follow the law, and you have to follow those. You don't have to follow them, but you have to obey the laws that they put out. So if that's what we're in, until you change them, until they make you get your ass up off your butt and go vote, until they make you go and be engaged and involved, then um, you're going to continue to get what you get, and you're going to continue to get what you're getting.
well, you know, I just believe that if we keep allowing him and them to do this 2025 project 2025 experiment on us, we will get to a part of where we no more have rights, because let me uh for it, I know that everybody's been hearing that Trump wants to be a authoritarian. He wants to be a king. He wants to be this. But let me read to you guys the actual definition for authoritarian. It's saying favoring or enforcing strict obedience to authority, especially that of government, at the expense of personal freedom. Okay, so that is what authoritarian regime looks like, right? We've always, all of us that was born, you know, after, probably about the 1960s or whatever, we have enjoyed the fruits of our ancestors protesting, and holding the line, you know, but we we don't hold the line. I mean, and that's
Mhm.
why I'm mad with Democrats right now. I mean, I am thoroughly pissed off that 2 weeks ago, Hakeem Jeffries actually voted. I don't give a damn who else voted for there to be a celebration of Charlie Kirk, but not one goddamn Democrat should have been on that list of those people that that said yay. I mean, I'm not understanding this weak ass Democratic. And see, that's why this is the reason why people are moving away from the Democratic Party,
I agree with you.
because they have no fucking backbone. How in the world, how are you going to sit there and everybody knew what Charlie Kirk stood for? I mean, the people that wanted to know knew. And you sit your ass there and make a vote to make, I think, October the 10th a, 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 a celebration of his birthday. I could have walked through my TV and choked the shit out of Hakeem Jeffries, because he can no more. I don't care if he was on the floor for 24 hours, goddamn, making a speech. But if you can't do the simple goddamn thing, the simple thing would have been to do what the Republicans have been doing for the last few years. Anything that the Democrats put up, they say no. They don't vote. So you could have done that. But really, 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 people, and this is the reason why we're walking away from the Democratic Party in droves. And
Well,
then
that's part of the plan. When I mean, they want you to be divided. They want the divisiveness. If you walk away from a party to start your own party, then they continue to keep power. That's not the answer. The answer is not to walk away from the Democratic Party. All right. The answer is to change the Democratic Party. If you think that you're powerful enough to walk away and get things done, then you ought to be powerful enough to stay within the organization and get things done too. Of course, I did leave. I have left. I left because of the local Democratic Party being such weaklings. There was nothing that they wanted to do to help the candidates. So yeah, I left. I'm not talking about the current administration now. I haven't been in the Democratic Party for over 3 or 4 years now. So I'm not talking about those people that are currently leading. I used to be a district leader, and but I saw that every time I wanted to do something that was progressive, every time I wanted to do something that was to help the candidates, I had opposition to it. And I'm wondering, what's wrong with these scary ass people? What's wrong? These people are fighting us left and right, have no compassion, don't care about nobody. And then you're going to say, well, let's talk about that in the next meeting. Next meeting, they don't want to talk about it. Then we'll look at that. Then and one of the guys that I really liked was the Democratic leader at the time was Will Claiborne. He's a lawyer here, but Will was just so passive. When you're in that position, you got to be able to you got to be able to have a mentality that's like a lion, not like
yeah,
a gazelle. You can't be a
yes,
gazelle. You got to be a lion in that spot, and you have to be able to fight fire with fire.
yeah,
Uh, I'm not gonna take the damn high road. High road ain't gonna get me nowhere.
exactly.
High
See,
road, so ain't no air up there. I'm gonna
exactly.
take the low road.
That's right. And I tell all of you Democrats and the leaning Democrats this. I love Michelle Obama. I love her with a passion. However, she did not do the Democratic Party a favor by saying, when they go low, we go high. No, because when you are fighting a bully and when you are fighting in a war, when they go low, you go goddamn gutter. I will go to hell. Okay? Go that low. Okay? I will go to hell and stuff. And then say, hey, y'all knew who I was because all of this passive playing, that's the reason why we're losing our benefits. We're losing our losing our unions. We're losing so much because first of all, we don't vote our own best interests. So a lot of I have no remorse for the farmers that's losing their farms. I have no remorse for the union people that actually voted for this fool, that now he's busting up unions and everything. I have no remorse for y'all because if you would have just read the first chapter of Project 2025, you would have saw this in the playbook. But everybody thought that Nah, he's just saying that in just. Our president is a prostitute. He will go to the highest bidder. So all of his loyalty goes to whoever is willing to pay him. He has gotten, in the last 9 months, he, outside of the CBS and ABC and I think Wall Street settlements, he has become $10 billion richer. He don't give a damn about us. $10 billion richer. Now, can you imagine if Obama would have been making money from the White House? Like this, $10 billion in 9 months. But everybody's turning their head and thinking, oh, he got a plane worth $4 billion from Qatar, but he don't owe them nothing. You know, I mean, he is a prostitute.
But
For
Sandra, we can't blame Trump for that. We can't blame Trump for that. That's not the Supreme Court and everybody else is supposed to be checking him. They're not. So if they're going to let him do it, then I mean, Lord have mercy. What can we do?
the same thing the Tea Party people did.
What's that?
The thing that people, not the Tea Party, but before when we were just colonies, when we were fighting to get our freedom from Europe, they had to have a revolt. And people are going to have to understand that, listen, unless you are willing to stand on the front lines like our ancestors, I mean, we don't even have to go back to the slave ancestors. We can just go back to civil rights. You know, we're going to have to be uncomfortable for a minute. And we're going to have to say what are facts. We can't keep turning a blind eye to bullshit and then thinking that the goalpost was this far. Now, you know, and every time we concede to something, they move the goalposts closer. And we have to be the people. We, the people, are going to have to be the ones to say, nope. You know, the same way we said nope 2 weeks ago when Jimmy Kimmel was taken off air. Everybody started showing Disney that, hey, we got the power of the purse. Now, either you put him back on or we'll bankrupt you, you know. So we got to do that in every facet. We got to find out who is supporting who. Because this United States is governed by, I think they said 2% of the population. 2. So we got to find out who is CBS in bed with, who is AT&T in bed with, and we got to let them know that, hey, I won't patronize you since you. I mean, just like we did Target. Target is losing. It has been bleeding money since they said no more DEI. So we got to do that with everything that we purchase. Find out who they're in bed with, who they're supporting, and you tell them, hey, tell your family and friends, hey, we're not going to support AT&T no more. We'll go to damn Boost Mobile. We'll go to damn what's that? Can you hear me now? Whoever, but we're not going to support you if you don't support us. If you're going to bend the knee to this foolishness and act like we don't pay your bills, we're not going to support you, and that's what we have to do. I have reduced myself, not reduced myself, because Aldi's is a nice place to shop. But I don't shop at Walmart. I don't shop at Target. I don't shop at Publix. I can't get none of my goddamn money because just what they did last week to that Black Book Club. Did you hear about that? They were supposed to be supporting a Black event and for books, and they were the only supporters. They made sure that they were the only supporters for this event, and then they pulled their support, saying, due to the current climate, we can no longer support you a week before the event's supposed to happen. Oh, okay. So nobody, if you're Black, you should not be supporting Publix, period. And it's up to you. I mean, I wish that we had our own stuff, but because of institutionalized racism and them making it to where we don't have our own businesses like we did in Rosewood and all, even Atlanta, before what was that, Lake Lanier, before they drowned, everything we've ever built, they've come and tried to cancel it out. And that's why when they talking about, we in Texas, there's a place that wants to go back to segregation. Well, go back to goddamn segregation. We don't give a fuck because we, before y'all stole most of the things that we created, the stoplight, the internet, you name it, we probably built it or created it. And then, but y'all stole it, and put your name tag on it and whatever. But we can do without them, but they can do without us.
Sandra, you're commentating, right? You preaching.
What? It's just me and you, Julius. Talk to me.
Okay, but just put it out there and let the people know. Yeah. Your video is up too also.
Run it. Because I want to know what you think about this.
A man from Houston's 2nd Ward says he's taking a stand against immigration enforcement with a Halloween display that's causing quite the stir. The display showing 2 figures, as you can see here, with nooses around their neck and zip ties next to a Mexican flag, and a 3rd figure wearing a serape. We spoke to that man about why he decided to put it up and the reaction he's getting from neighbors. This is the display in question.
I've had good and bad controversy on it. Some people talk real good about it. Some people talk real bad. But the way I tell them, by no means am I threatening nobody.
Mark Rodriguez lives on Delmar Street in the 2nd Ward. His Halloween decorations are how he's choosing to take a stand on immigration enforcement across the country. When we asked what exactly it meant or who the figures were, he simply said,
this is, my little political statement. Our community lives in fear right now. The schools, people are dropping the enrollment in the schools. The restaurants are low. The community, everybody's scared right now. I like practicing our First Amendment rights. By no means am I threatening nobody. This isn't a threat towards no agency or no officers.
Rodriguez tells us he's not afraid to shake things up to make sure his message hits home.
This ain't the first time I've done it. I've done Halloween decorations for 20 years. I'm not directing no hate to nobody. It was just something I decided to do for Halloween. And right when Halloween's over, I'll take it down.
We checked in with HPD and they told us no one has complained, and even if they did, Rodriguez is not violating any laws. 9 years ago, our Keith Garvin also reported on Mark Rodriguez, who created a Halloween display showing then presidential candidate Donald Trump hanging from a noose. Rodriguez says that year he decided to mix his dislike for Trump into Halloween decorations.
The guy like nooses, Sandra.
Hey, I support it 100%, to be honest with you, because, you know, they have thugs. Those ICE agents are thugs walking around. Julius, when you were a police officer, if somebody asked, who are you and what your badge number was, wasn't you obligated to give that?
Yes, but
Okay.
they do what they want to do now, Sandra, because the administration and the Supreme Court has changed their minds on so many things that it don't matter to people no more. They let them do whatever they want them to do. That's just how it is.
Well,
You know,
I just feel like you know, if they can, I mean, they're terrorizing our communities. You know, I hate that they lied to the immigrants, many of the immigrants, not just Hispanic immigrants, but they lied to the Haitians. So there were a lot of Haitians that voted for him, you know, thinking that he was going to only go after criminals. But no, he's going after anybody that looked different from them.
well, just be glad that you don't look different.
Well, you know,
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well, I don't look different, but
I'm not saying that to say, you know, hey, you know, that we just had this conversation on Hot Off the Press, our Tuesday show that we do every Tuesday at 6 o'clock on the radio. And on Hot Off the Press, I said, you know, I agree with Trump on a lot of things, especially the laws, but he don't follow the laws, but he wants everybody else to follow them. But still, if you're going to get me for breaking the law, then everybody else should be able to be gotten also. You can't say, you know, well, oh no, they're deporting it. Well, did those people break the law? Did they do something wrong when they came over here illegally? Then they broke the law. I can't have any sympathy. And then they weren't there to stand up for me. Shit. What I look like standing up for them. You know?
I get that, Julius.
Okay.
But in a community so racial profiling, and we have been the victims of racial profiling for many, many decades.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you don't know. I mean, they were. I saw a video the other day where ICE was trying to chase a guy that was on a bicycle. You know, he got away from him, but they don't know whether these people are legal residents, illegal residents, or anything, but just based on your skin color these days, you know, you are a target. You know, if I was living, I would not want to be living in a area where there was a lot of Haitians or maybe a lot of Africans, because just based on my skin tone, I might get pulled over, snatched out the damn car, stripped off the goddamn car. You know, and them saying, oops, well, we didn't know, and that's not right. It's not right. This is not good policy, to just be snatching people. And then you come up to my door and you got on a mask and all of this, and you don't identify yourself. I'm shooting all of y'all, period. Because I live in a stay in your ground state. So what do you do about that? When you live in a state where, hey, these people, they're not identifying themselves. They're just popping out of the shadows and snatching folk off the street. And then the next thing you know, you getting a call from, and anybody can do that. Do you know how many people that I could get revenge on? I could put a mask over my face and come down to Savannah and just act the fuck up, because don't nobody know who these people are. You know what I'm saying? And so that makes it dangerous. That's what makes it dangerous. And then it makes it dangerous for all the other police officers, in the district. And this is the reason why, they're having so many ambushes and things like that of police officers. Not that I care, but I'm just saying. How do you feel about that?
You kind of radical.
I don't feel like I'm radical, but I'm just feeling, just imagine, Julius, somebody you getting out of your car at your house, and somebody jumps out of their car and says, hey, get on the ground. But they don't identify themselves or anything. Shit, anybody can be coming to rob you. You look like you good for a robbing.
Sandra. So what you figuring you gonna do?
Huh?
What you gonna do?
Well,
they jumped out the car. Everybody. They jumped out the car with masks on, with and there's 10 of them with guns. And they jumped out the car with masks on.
I promise you, I'm shooting.
Sandra,
I'm shooting.
Sandra, I promise you, you're not gonna get one round off. Sandra, listen to reason. Listen to reason, okay? You're dealing with expert shooters that's not going to let you get one round off. First of all, they're not going to let you know that they're doing that. As soon as you reach, they're going to shoot you, okay? And then, let's just say it is 20, it's 10 guys without masks, without ice on it. What you gonna do then? You shooting again?
Yes, because you're supposed
to live another day. Because woman, live another day.
You got as a uniformed officer, you are supposed to identify yourself.
Sandra, stop going with what's supposed to happen. We living in a different world now.
No, we should not be
think the laws have been expelled for right now, suspended. Okay, stop thinking that you and Bernard keep thinking that the laws are all going to protect you. The laws are not going to protect you right now.
Julius, for one, I don't understand who you have morphed into.
I'm not morphing because I see everything around me.
Julius,
you thinking that the laws are going to work for you. You thinking that they're supposed to do something that they don't have to do no more. And you thinking that when you go to court, the courts are going to agree with you.
Julius.
What?
Well, we're going to start seeing a whole bunch more killings, and that segues me into my next question.
And it gotta be you got
My,
10 minutes.
okay, my next question is, we need to be asking these middle-aged white men, are y'all all right? Are y'all all right? Because I've been doing some research, and before anybody comes on here and says, well, what about the black on black crime? No, not as much as, first of all of these mass shootings. And then the just like the Charlie Kirk shooting, and then there was another shooting recently. You're not gonna make me believe that that mass shooters or snipers are suddenly writing on their damn bullets. Never in the history of goddamn mass shootings have we had so many goddamn Martha Stewarts. How do you feel about that?
Hey, the world changes.
You know what, Julius? I want you to get the.
I mean,
I want you to stop
no,
the shit, yeah. Because
no. I mean, Sandra,
I
I've been
want
living
you
in
somebody who has
Sandra.
goddamn time to be writing on goddamn bullets.
There are cycles out there, Sandra, and there are cycles out there. And the world is changing, and these things just happen. So ain't nothing we could do about whether a person done changed their mentality. They done watch the movie now, so now they have these habits that that we've never seen before.
Julius,
Listen, hey,
this
hey,
is bullshit.
it
That
is,
is
it is,
bullshit
it
at
is,
its highest, okay? And
it
I'm
is.
just
See,
you
they
call it
created,
what it is.
they sacrificed a lot of things. They sacrificed the guy who tried to take Trump out. They sacrificed the guy at the down there in Florida. They sacrificed, I think, and this is just my thought, I think they sacrificed Charlie Kirk.
I think that I know that they sacrificed Charlie Kirk because, first of all, Charlie Kirk was talking about release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. There is a whole video out there. Y'all go and look at it. He was talking about releasing the Epstein file.
And there's some dangerous people on them Epstein files. Look at when you're talking about people that might be in BlackRock, you're talking about people that might be in the pharmaceuticals. Those are two of the biggest industries in the world, medicine and then BlackRock with war and all the businesses they own. They own every business, everything that you're eating, they own. They own everything. So you don't get out there and not know who you're fighting against. That's why I gotta tell you, y'all not looking around you. All you're thinking about is what used to be. Everything has changed right now. So you have to be able to play the game within those rules. So now you have to be careful on everything that you do. You ain't got to be scared. You just got to be careful. And because if you're not, you can be bold if you got a whole lot of people with you. You can be bold as hell. But right now we have to be careful because there is no unity in our community so that we can do the things that's necessary to protect us. So we're vulnerable right now. So you have, and I keep trying to tell you, y'all keep talking about, and don't, if those people jump on your ass, lay your ass on the ground. Okay. Don't go talking about you join to shoot nobody, because if you try, they're going to get you. They're trained. This is what they do for a living. You won't even reach, your gun won't even be out your holster, out your pants thing, So, you got to just be able to think about what you're doing. Where is the?
Well, the last, we got 6 minutes, and I want to talk about the hijacking of Christianity by the Christian nationals. Okay.
You got 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So you.
No, we got 6. I'm looking up in the corner.
No, you can't go till 9 o'clock.
Okay, so it's bad being a Christian right now because I don't even want to tell people, I've been a Christian all my life, but with the Christian nationals hijacking Christianity and and Christian nationals are just racist, period. And they have hijacked the Christian term to fit in with their racism. And I'm a Christian, but I am a Jesus principle Christian. And the Jesus principles tells me that I'm supposed to love my neighbor. I'm supposed to, do for the poor. I'm supposed to all of these things, being a follower of Jesus. I'm a follower of Jesus. But when after the Charlie Kirk murder, um, there were so many of these Christian people, supposedly, coming on and talking about, oh, he was a great guy and blah, blah, blah. He was a hate guy. He was a hate guy. That was everything that Jesus was against, And then even this government shutdown, is against the principles of what Christianity is supposed to be. How do we give trillions to billionaires? But we can't keep, but what the Democrats are fighting for is healthcare benefits to be, the healthcare taxes to be extended for the Affordable Health Care Act and for Medicaid, the Medicaid cuts to be rescinded. That is the reason for this shutdown right now. And you mean to tell me now it's not going to bother me because I have health care through my job. But I know a lot of people on Medicaid. I know a lot of people on Medicare. And I know that these hospitals that serve really the rural areas are going to suffer because of what these so-called Christians are doing on the Republican side. Now speak to that.
No. A lot of people are going to suffer who thought that they were getting one thing and was sold a bill of goods. That's just the price of being dumb in America. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then certain things are going to happen that you're not going to like. And that's just the fact of it. Those farmers thought that they would vote and they would be okay. All those people down there in Florida, all those Cubans and all those Spanish people and all those, there's a bunch of Haitians also that thought that it was going to be okay, but they're all getting shipped out too. It's a bunch of you don't you used to see, and the guy was right on there. People are running and hiding. The school attendance is down all over America because they're hiding because they don't know when ICE is coming. They raided the Honda plant here, and then people couldn't pick their kids up from school.
Wow.
So because they were in ICE custody. So it's a trickle down effect. So you thought that you were supposed to, and I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I do rev in a lot of this because I like what's going on. I do. I don't agree with it, but I like it because the reason I like it is because it can only make our community stronger. I can't wait till he come for us. See, but they got to understand one thing. We ain't our ancestors. We ain't our ancestors. So you got to be ready when you do come, because if you come in the wrong way, you know, it's going to be a
It's
standoff.
not gonna be good for you.
Right. And
Yeah.
so we ain't our ancestors. So like I said, I like what's going on because I want our community to be stronger. You know, I want us to be able to put our resources together and do the things that are necessary to build. We're not doing that. It's time to go anyway. But Sandra, you can always call in on Tuesday if you got these kind of views and talk to us on our show. It's live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 on Hot 2100 Savannah. And y'all.
Well, now that I'm on the East Coast, you know, I'll do that. I'll be in Savannah Sunday, and I'll be here for the next 2 weeks. So you know I'm coming over to the house. So
okay, well, come on. You could be on the show for the next 2 weeks and give us your views. Call Jamal. He'll love to have you with that perspective. And
all right, y'all.
Indeed. All right, we appreciate y'all watching. Y'all share, and y'all watch Sandra and try to keep out of trouble.
Yeah, love y'all.
To all our shows. We have a whole lot coming. Y'all just staying by. Our Roku channel is up and running. We're loading it with stuff, with content now. All these shows go on the Roku channel, so you'll be able to watch them after a while. We just don't have enough help to put it all up right now, but we're doing everything we can. Advertising on the billboards that we have, advertising on the radio, advertising on these podcast shows. We have it all for you. And we touch people, you know, there's 1,000 people watching now. But we touch people, and we have a big audience, and it's growing, and we're the only ones in this region that's doing what we're doing. Well, you know, it's nothing bad that we're doing. All we're doing is informing people, and we're trying to level the playing field as much as we can, even though we see that the playing field is being moved. The down markers are, well, we're not looking. But anyway, watch the shows. Go to Hot 2100 Savannah and watch all our shows on our Facebook page, Hot 2100 Savannah. Go to www.hot2100savannah.com and listen to our radio station. Share it with somebody. It's the best music in the world. We Friday, y'all tune in because I got some bad. Listen, you don't want to miss Friday. Friday we have old school Friday from 7 until 10. 3 hours of the best music you ever want to hear. I got some brand new artists that will just blow y'all mind. You know, I'm serious. The music is just phenomenal. And if you doing anything from 7 to 10, it's going to be Southern Soul and old school, new school, old school, new school. It's an old school sound by the new school people. And I'm talking about it is awesome, just awesome. I mean, awesome. I'm gonna send you a few of them in a few minutes. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, y'all.
But you gotta not be trying to do 30 things while you're listening to it. Listen to the words of these songs.
I'm gonna listen.
All right. Awesome. I'm talking about absolutely awesome. Good night. Don't forget Saturday morning also tune in with Jamal and Julius in the morning, 8 to 10. We got the Hunger Club from 7 until it's over, 7 to 11. The guest speakers, Sheriff Coleman. We got, I think, Beach and Savannah High got their homecomings. We got the
Beach and Savannah High.
I think Saturday. Grits and Fish festival over in South Carolina. It's a lot going on Saturday. So
I'm gonna be down in Orlando, Universal Studios this weekend. I thought I could make it for Savannah High and Savannah State, but hey, hopefully. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Love you.
Good night. I love y'all.
like this.